Hello YouTube, welcome back to another deck profile video. This time I'm gonna bring you one of my decks that I showed on my regular post. That is gonna be Carrot. Here's a fun fact. She is also my first alternate art leader I got when I started playing. I started playing in OP11 by the way. And I really like this deck to play, but every time it gets just power creep by other decks. And now with the body deck, starter deck, with the only support that you get is the Lion and the Peppo, the Drone Drop. But it's still a fun deck to play as a casual. I'm not sure how I'm gonna build it in a competitive way. Maybe you guys have an idea to make this deck competitive as possible. But before I start, like the video, subscribe for more, and let's get into it. So first, the leader is Carrot, the leader with 5,000 power with 5 lives, with the ability once per turn, when I control a main character on the field, I can rest up one of the opponent's characters with a 5 cost or less to rest. So this is a pretty control build, but the problem with this deck is when you play against a deck that plays 2 big bodies, then she's already struggling. Alright. 4 Wandas. These are your basic searchers of the Mink. It can grab every Mink card except for herself. 2 Carrot Blocker, the promos. I think about playing this card at 4, but I need to find space for it. So it's nice to have a cheap block outside besides these Pedros. Pedro is definitely the best blocker of the whole deck. But the problem is with Pedro is he takes up a whole cost like a normal character. And, I mean, this ability is not bad, but in my opinion, if Pedro was just 1 cost less, then it would be an amazing card. But beggars can't be choosers, am I right? 5 Carrots, your heart and soul of the deck. If you don't have characters to control the opponent's field by resting characters, then you're gonna have a hard time. And 4 Jewelry Bonnie. So when she enters the field, she freezes everything. So it could be a character or a Dawn. So that is especially great against decks with the 10 Dawns high-enders, like 10 Drop Shanks or Teach, for example. But there's still a fun deck to play as a casual with friends, but I'm not really sure if I will take this deck out to the competitive scene, because I don't know how we're gonna build this deck in a competitive way, because there's just so many decks out there there's just gonna run over this deck. But now for the 2K counters. 4 Carrots for the EBL2. So what this card does, when you play this card and you have that turn 3 or more Dons on the field, you can look at your top 7 of your deck to add the event, the stage event of this deck, add it to your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of your deck. Then you can also play the stage directly. So here's also a fun ruling that works with many of these decks. When you look at the top and you can't find it, but you already have the copy in the hand, you can still play out the copy. So that's great. 2 Milkies. I played first 4, but I cut it to 2 because I needed the other of the 2K counter space, and those are the Tashikis. I mean, Milky with So event stage is really strong, because activating 2 Dons per turn, where you can keep her on the field. But I don't think that you doesn't need to go. Excuse me for my English. It is not really much necessary anymore to go for that combo anymore. So I think 2 is fine. C is more of the necessary. Maybe if you have already this card on hand, maybe stage, maybe you can apply to the combo. But for now you don't really do that anymore. So 2 is fine. And just for Tashiki, of course, for the generic protection against your green characters. 4 Hoddy Jones, just a basic game mana of green, just by resting 2 cards and then having rush is strong. 2 Rosinantes, I'm gonna put this card here. Rosinante just cheesing out a base of 5 cost, so it can cheese out a carrot, can cheese out a bunny. And then as long as this character is in a rested state by active base 5 costs are protected of a KO ability, so really strong against black decks or red decks now. 2 Shanks. You would say in carrot it lets you play more, but the problem is now with Shanks is that the purple category is now a thing, and if you play against a purple category deck, especially when you play a lot of purple big mob cards in it, then you won't be able to KO anything, so this could just gonna be a death card, or just play that as a vanilla, but you don't really want to do that. So that's why 2 is fine, so this card sucks against the purple decks to place a purple category with all the big mobs beside it. But other decks, this is a fantastic card. Now, here are the playset La and Peppo of the Bonnie starter deck. So this card is amazing. I don't know everything about the ruling. The only ruling I know so far is when he enters the field, and he won't be able to put the active character to rest, but there are 2 characters on the field. He still will be able to give the 2000 power to the leader until the end of the opponent's turn. But the thing that I now want to know is because it basically also works with Captain Usa's kit, the yellow kit deck at that same moment. When he enters the field, and there are at that moment just a rested character on the field, can they still freeze the rested character? That is the only ruling that I want to know, but I don't know if he actually hasn't cost. No, he doesn't have a cost. It's just a card to resolve as much as possible, so I think even if you play this card on the field, you can still freeze a character. And then last 2 cards, the Tantrum Don Quixote. I think 2 is fine now in this deck, because you still have other high-enders on the game, and your main focus on the Tendon is of course Yellow and Peppo to maintain your leader to be 7k. It's Dolphy now is more of the situation card, like, alright, you have not just 2 characters on the field, with 1, but the leader is rested, I'm just gonna swing everything to your life, and then I'm gonna drop this on you. And then in the next turn, I do it again with the additional 1000 power. So, and then basically, in my Bonnie deck, I also play just 2 copies of the Flamingo. Now the last card, first are the Zero events. I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, just because I play too much high-enders in my deck with no counter, so having these is pretty neat, still to make it a 3k counter. 2 Electric Lunas, still a strong card. It is formed against the rogue decks like Bella Betty, Suru, and other low cost base decks. But the reason I only play 2 is because it's searchable as this deck. And if I think if I play too much of this card, then I would instantly brick. So that's why I think 2 is just enough for my version of build anyway. And then the last, the events, the Zoo. Amazing card. You can rest this card to set a Resident active again. And then in the end phase, if you have a Mink leader, which carrot is, you can put 1 of your arrested Mink characters as active. So, example, with the Pedro, you can swing to 5k, and then end phase with this, you can set the Pedro active again, still having a blocker. Yes, and with that was my carrot deck profile. As I say, that is just casual for fun. I don't know how I'm gonna play this deck competitively, because now some matchups are just horrible for carrot to face. But maybe you guys have something there to upgrade this deck, and I can't wait for your replies in the comment section about it, for suggestions. Speaking about the comment section, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe for more videos like this. And also speaking about subscription, thank you very much for the 50 subscription so far. so far. I wish I can do more for you guys to make content like this, so we can grow together as a true community. And just as always, be awesome, stay awesome, and until next time, bye bye.